right. So, welcome to day 6 of Advent of Code. I think the stream is working. Guess we'll find out. Let's check this over here. Okay, cool. Where is the stream? It's over here. Live stream. All right, we are running. Cool. Yeah, okay, so welcome to day 6 of Advent of Code. I have learned my lesson with the audio and got a new microphone. So hopefully the new microphone will be doing a much better job than the one built into my monitor. Okay, so let's get started on day 6. Here we go. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Okay. Custom customs. Love the clever names of these. Whoever comes up with these names is fantastic. As your flight approaches the regional airport, where you'll switch to a much larger plane, customs declaration forms are distributed to the passengers. Oh, I always remember those. It's like, do you have any fruit? How much cash do you have? That kind of thing. The form asks a series of 26 yes or no questions. That sounds about right. Marked A through Z. All you need to do is identify the questions for which anyone in your group answers yes. Since your group is just you, this doesn't take very long. However, the person sitting next to you seems to be experiencing a language barrier and asks if you can help. For each of the people in their group, you write down the questions for which they answer yes, 1 per line. For example, okay, in this group, there are 6 questions to which anyone answered yes. A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Duplicate answers to the same question don't count extra. Each question counts at most once. Another group asks for your help, then another, and eventually you've collected answers from every group in the plane, your puzzle input. Each group's answers are separated by a blank line, and within each group, each person's answers are on a single line. Okay. Gotcha. So each line is a person, blank line, new group. This list represents answers from 5 groups. The first group contains one person who answered yes to 3 questions. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. In this example, the sum of these counts, okay, is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 11. Okay, so for each group, count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes, and what is the sum of those counts? Okay, so really you just want to unique the characters, I guess. All right, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's make a directory. Day 06. Yeah, I don't know if I'm like not understanding the question, but today sounds easy. I don't want to get ahead of myself. You know what? Maybe it's quite possible that I just I haven't seen what's difficult about this question yet. So let's hope that I haven't put my foot in my mouth prematurely. Okay. Cool. So we got these. So what are we going to have? We're going to have where we define our methods, etc. We're going to have a section for tests to assert that what we write works, and then we're going to have a section that runs the actual code. Okay. So really this is so they've kind of given us 2 sets of test input here, which is interesting. So we can sort of treat this as for actually I guess this is really the test input that they give us here, because this is what they give us answers to. They give us answers like it's going to be 3, 3, 3, 1, and 1, and then the whole thing comes to 11. And I mean, we don't really need to test that we add it up. I mean, to 11, we could probably just test the individuals. Okay, well, let's turn this into our test input right here. So instead of making this just a regular vanilla code block, what we'll do is we'll make this an actual code block. Input. Whoop. We'll put that in. there we go. So we've got our test input. And so what are we going to be testing? We're going to, first let's grab log. I hate typing console.log every time, so I always destructure it into log because I always misspell console. The number of times I've gotten the error message, no such variable canossal, like, wow, it should be on my tombstone. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to say, I guess we should have assert too. Equals require assert. So yeah, okay, what is this going to look like? We're going to say, first of all, let's make a method that takes something like ABC and returns 3. So we want to assert that 3 is count questions and ABC. So we want count questions, count unique questions. Yeah, I guess count. We'll just say count queue, so it's easier to type. Okay, so we're going to count the unique questions in this count queue, and we want this to be 3. So this is going to fail because there's no such definition. So that's where defs come in. Count queue equals, and this is going to take some text. And so really, let's take a look at this. So whether it's ABC, 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 like this, like it's really what we're going to do is we're just looking for characters, like unique characters. So yeah, we're going to take this text block and then we're going to find unique characters. And what would be a good way of doing that? We could just loop through every character and add it to an array and then unique it. We could use a set. So JavaScript sets are like arrays, but they guarantee uniqueness. I think that probably makes the most sense here. So what we'll do is we will, okay, so let's just match all the characters in the array. And what do we have? A to Z. Okay, and for C in. So what we're gonna have a set equals new set. I think this is how set works, and then set. What is it? Set add. JavaScript set. So the problem, every language has things just a little bit different, so I always have to look stuff like this up. Creates a new set. Set prototype size, set prototype add. Okay, so it's add, and then that's fine. Set add C. In fact, we can just do this, and then we can set dot size. So let's see if this works. All right. No, it doesn't work. Why is that? So false equals true. So let's log count queue and see what that gives us as well. So that gives us 1. So why is that? Are we not globally? Yeah, we're not globally matching this text. Okay, cool. So, and then this is going to be, so this is going to be groups. What we want is, I guess for group and groups, yeah, okay. I mean, so realistically what we're going to be doing here, I guess we can write the other assertions too. So we can do assert 3 is count queue. Oops. There we go. That's fine. This is going to get pretty repetitive. So I'm just going to type these like this, and yeah. All right. So I feel pretty confident that those work. And I'm going to just write one last assert for the whole thing coming out to 11. So we're going to need a new method that is basically like sum queues equals, this is going to take the whole text, and what we're really going to do is we're just going to break this up into by new line. So text.split on 2 new lines. And then what we're going to do is we're going to map with the new input, the group. And what we're going to do is we're going to count Q the group, and then and then what we're going to do is we're going to reduce memo equals. I mean, I really wish JavaScript would add a sum. Maybe they do have a sum now. Maybe it's just, maybe I'm very old and I don't know that there's a sum. JavaScript array sum. No, reduce. It's just like use reduce. Okay, thanks JavaScript. Okay, val. Okay, and this is gonna basically just be memo plus val. I'll put that on a new line because that's how it works. So we want to sum the queues. I guess this should be count queues, shouldn't it? There we go. It's sum queues. So cert 11 is sum queues, and we're gonna put in input. So that just worked. Okay, so I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like this is a very complicated question, so I feel reasonably confident that this is correct. And let's just move on to grabbing the input and checking the input. I imagine maybe the difficult thing will come in part 2. So let's find out if that's true. New file, input dot coffee. I know a lot of people just put a dump, like a text file, and then they just have to, you know, use like a read file or something, or the file system module of Node to load it. And I feel like that's probably closer to what you would be doing in real life, but I always just sort of just export it as a string just to make my life easier. And I feel like, I don't know, part of me feels like that's kind of cheating, but part of me also just doesn't care, because it's really, that's not part of the problem space. Like it has nothing to do with what we're doing. So yeah, I don't feel bad about exporting a string from my input.coffee rather than the alternative, which would be loading the file system module. Okay, so this is what the answer gave us for our input. Let's try it out, see what we got. That's the right answer. Okay, great. We got 1 gold star. Continue to part 2. Part 2. So let's copy this. We'll put it into a new file. 2.coffee. Nope, not there. 2.lit coffee. Not going to make the joke for a 3rd day in a row. If you missed the joke, you can go back and watch one of the previous episodes. Same example as above. Oh, actually what we did was we made this input equals, made this just a code block. All right. So let's read this. Okay, as you finish the last group's customs declarations, you notice that you misread 1 word in the instructions. Well, that has never happened to me before. If you don't need to identify the questions to which anyone answered yes, you need to identify the questions to which everyone answered yes. Okay, so using the same example as above. So that does make it a bit more complicated. Actually, yeah, it makes it several steps instead of just using a set. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to see if the answer exists in every line. So I know tools like underscore and Lodash have all, which I think will verify that something is true of all arrays. We could replicate that pretty easily. but I also don't feel bad about adding underscore, because I mean, in past advent of codes, I've probably used it pretty heavily, and I don't really feel bad about that. Okay, so this is just going on and giving you examples, and this is what the sum of the counts would be. So 6. So let's grab our assertions and our tests from. Well, let's just grab everything from the last thing, and then we can modify it. So this is going to assert 6 is some Qs, and we want to assert 3 is that, and then okay, this is actually a good time to add another assertion. Assert, what is this? This is going to be 1 because it's the A. 1 is count Qs, count Qs, count Qs. Okay, so this is going to fail all my assertions, basically. So bam, false equals true. Good. So, count Qs is going to change here. So really, some Qs is doing the same thing. It's just splitting it up into groups, and it is calling count Qs on each group. So count Qs is what changes. So instead of like a set and adding like A, B, C, and then C, which is already in the set, so it gets collapsed. What we want to actually do is we want to comb through this line by line. So we actually care about lines now. So we're going to basically do what we do here, and then we're going to do map, and with our line. So I think these lines are already unique, I'm guessing. I mean, the lines seem unique. I'm going to assume that they're unique, and we'll find out later if they're not unique. Line split. So we're going to split on nothing to turn them into an array. And then we are going to, what are we going to have here? We're going to have an array of arrays. So let's log this and see if that's what we got. So let's log count Qs. Yeah, so this should give us an array of arrays. It gives us false. Oh, that's count Qs. We're going to do, oh yeah. So text split map. Oh, log 1 is. There we go. So this should give us an array of arrays, and that's what it does. And what we want to do is we want to find all the elements that are common to every array. So this is going to give us a group back. This is going to give us a group. So we've got this array of arrays. Now what we want to do is we want to find the union of all these arrays. Does JavaScript have a union? Union. It's it's intersection, right? In ES6. So hopefully they've added this. Oh, can you just do it with destructuring? So that's union. We want intersection. So this just filters by inclusion. I mean, we can do that. But the other thing we can do is we can underscore intersection and just use that intersection. So we can do that. Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Okay, equals rewire. There you go. Wow, I can't type today. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we are going to intersection, and we're going to splat that out. And so we're going to need underscore. We're going to need to add this to our package. So let's just do it here. npm use, make sure we're on the right version. npm version. Oh, nvm use. All right, and npm add underscore. Cool. So let's see if this works. Underscore. No, it's not. Intersection split. Oh, right. Okay. Let's grab. So this is the return value, and then we're going to return. So is this saying a assertion error? Oh, right, and we want to do actually that dot, was it length, to find out how long it is. Okay, cool. So this gives us, so we've asserted all these things, and that makes sense. And then we've already got this log some queues require input. So I imagine that this is probably true. Let's double check our assertions a little bit more. So this should give us one assert. Well, we already asserted 6 as the number of inputs. So yeah, I think we're actually fine. So this is giving us the return value. Then we're getting the intersection, and we're getting the length of that intersection. So yeah, in this case, the intersection of this would just be a single array of the letter A, and then that would return 1, which is what we're getting here. Okay, I guess what we can do is just feed this answer into the box and see if that's what they wanted. Submit. Submit. There we go. That's the right answer. Okay, we got a gold star. Turn to your advent calendar. So I guess what we can do now is we can clean up a little bit. So let's take a look at our first day. First of all, we should mark this as plain text. Okay, so we've got set equals new set, and then we add this, and then we would just return the size. I kind of miss like tap in Ruby. So Ruby is great because you can do like new set like this, or I guess it would be set.new .tap, and that gives you the set, and then you can, you know, do things in here like set.add or whatever, and it will return the thing that you passed in. And I love this because it just sort of like, it can make really terse, easy to read code. So you could do something like this. So I guess that'd be set. And I wish, I don't know how readable that is, but I like it. I kind of wish JavaScript had something similar. You could probably do something similar with like, maybe like map the array of 1 or pass it into a function and do something in the function, return the original thing back out. But I don't know. I just I find that I yearn for those things when I'm doing programming like in JavaScript. It'd be nice to use more explicit variables. All right, what do we have here? Some queues. I don't know if these methods are really well named, but yeah, maybe. Here we have map, and it's like count queues. So this is 6585. You can actually just pass it like this and get the same answer, since it's like you're calling a function with the same argument as the function that you're calling inside. So it's kind of a nice terse way of saying the exact same thing. You can just map over them and apply this function to each value. So let's do that. All right, what do we have? We've got a couple of tests, and then we just log the result. So I'm happy with all of that. I guess some queues we can take that and apply it over here as well. It's a very, very small, very small refactor. This method here is the only method that's sort of like makes me want to clean it up, because I feel like it's doing a lot. So I mean, it's got this part here that makes an array of arrays out of lines of text, and I feel like if we were going to do any more work in this code base, I would be really tempted to split this into its own method, just sort of like explode it. And then we could apply that to intersection. That would be part of count queues, I guess. But since we're really just not doing anything else, we're literally going to, like, we've got our answer, we're going to close the file and you know, never open it again. There's no part 3 that we might sort of like want to accommodate for with sort of more robust code. I'm okay with just leaving it as is. And then down here, we added an assertion just because the output was a little bit more complicated. So just to sort of help give us confidence in that. Again, we didn't make every assertion. We didn't assert every test because I feel like that's kind of a waste, especially since we asserted the product of all those tests. And then furthermore, we were able to verify our answer. So I feel pretty good about not having written every assertion. Cool. So I guess that's pretty much it. Just got to commit our work. So we added underscore, and we got day 6. And one thing that I should do is, I'll do that later. I was going to add the link to the README, but I'll do that next time. Okay, so we're going to, before I do that, we should get up just in case. I was going to be doing this git rebase. It's okay, I can commit it now. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that was fun, and I guess I'll see you guys.